Splatoon 3 has been out for quite a while, and one thing we've all been looking forward to is its new single-player DLC campaign. Now, instead of all the squid splatting turf wars and covering the ground with ink, we have a new mode, Side Order. While this does give a heaping helping of calamari, sadly, it's not the kind of order you can eat. Even if it lacks in nutritional value, it more than makes up for it with gameplay. The DLC features our favorite squid shooter doing something quite different than before, by dipping its tentacle into the more roguelike experience of constant deaths and game overs, while slowly climbing your way to the top of the tower. I really like roguelikes, with one of my favorite being Hades, so I was really looking forward to this with my favorite Splatoon shooter. Getting to see Splatoon's multiple weapons, while combined with a whole roguelike gameplay, just seems like a match made in heaven. Roguelikes can be very filling, with heaping helpings of interesting loadouts, jam-packed with juicy, succulent content. That's why I wanted to talk about the hottest new item on the Splatoon menu. I was really hungry when I wrote this script, so let's face some order with some chaos. This is Splatoon 3, Side Order. We wake up as Agent 8, who you may or may not have played in Splatoon 2's DLC. Literally, if you play the second game's DLC, it's the same character you created back then. I love that. You also find Pearl, one half of the duo of Splatoon 2's Off the Hook. She's an adorable drone now, but that's not the only change. You'll also notice how everything around is muted from color completely. Again, this is Splatoon we are talking about, a game that screams color, where spreading shades and hues is one of the main mechanics of the game, and the area is completely void of it. It's kind of surreal and even a little scary. It reminds me of looking at bleached coral in the ocean, and I'm sure the similarities are completely intentional. Environmental messages in a game involving the ocean? I never would have guessed. You find yourself getting into the Spire of Order, or a huge tower that goes all the way to the top, where you go up an elevator accompanied by Oct, a green octoling, who some of you know as Deadfish. Obviously, you can see which mouse it's inspired by. Each floor consists of an objective for you to complete, and a chip for you to collect. That chip increases your power, or gives you an advantage for the next floor. The higher you get, the more powerful you become, either until you reach the top to take on Order, the corrupted AI who is responsible for the creation of this place, or until you die and have to start all over again. The atmosphere has a sci-fi vibe, almost like you're trapped in a sort of virtual world. Going through each floor reminds me of Nier Automata, everything looking gray, futuristic, and chrome.
Why is everything chrome?
Everything is chrome in the future!
Again, it's such a fun contrast to the colorful world of Splatoon, and stands out from the main game in the best way possible. The enemies you fight also produce this black tar-like ink, which is not only more of a change, but it's also kind of terrifying to have your character stuck in what is essentially polluted oil? Another subtle environmental message, perhaps? The Splatoon franchise has always had a great soundtrack, and this new expansion does not disappoint. It has a sort of a techno EDM vibe. I can literally picture Oct playing the music with DJ setup in the elevator. Side Order stands out with its own style that brings a lively intensity to the Spire of Order. Again, Splatoon 3 is known for its music, but this DLC really does shine. But when it comes to the gameplay itself, each run consists of 30 floors, with a boss after every 10 floors. While it's very unlikely you'll survive the wrath of a deadly rogue computer program on your first attempt, it is possible. But if you don't, there's more than one way to get powerful in your next run. After each attempt, you get digital currency called pearls. You know it's cool because it's got a Z in it. You can give your pearls to Marina, the other half of Off the Hook. Guess what else that means now that Marina's in the game? Off the Hook is officially back! I know these two were in the last game, but I am so happy to see Pearl and Marina in Splatoon again. I love the trio of Shiver, Fry, and Big Man, and you can't forget the Squid Sisters, Callie and Marie, but these two are just adorable. Also, they are so into each other. It was kinda hinted at in the last DLC that Pearl and Marina were together, but here it is so obvious. Like they flirt with each other constantly. Marina's always complimenting Pearl. Look at Marina's background. It It's just Pearl looking cute. Do really good friends have pictures of each other on their desktop? I think not. I can explain. Anyways, back to the gameplay. You use pearls to get permanent upgrades like extra lives, better durability, lowering the health of the enemies, and many, many more abilities. This, in classic roguelike fashion, should make each following attempt slightly easier, eating your journey to the top of the spire. This is the gameplay loop of Side Order, a good roguelike that inspires you to keep going no matter how many times you fail. In fact, a good roguelike will want you to fail as long as you get a little further each and every time. Side Order really encourages experimentation through trial and error. You're going to get a game over a lot, and that's okay. That's how you learn. Not only getting better with new abilities, but honing your skills with every new weapon you choose for your run. Your loadout comes in the form of a pallet that you fill before every floor. This is basically a series of empty chip holders for the weapons you will use throughout your run. For example, you'll get a pallet for the splatter shot, the basic gun weapon in the game, which means you'll use that weapon for this run of the spire. Your pallet starts empty, but with each floor you clear, you get colored chips to customize your weapon output on the next floor. These chips can make quite the difference in your run. You can increase your damage, range, or speed. There are even chips that give your Pearl drone unique abilities, dropping splat bombs, deploying a sprinkler, and even ink strikes. It allows you to really strategize, as while your pool of chip abilities is limited by random chance, you still have a choice, and that choice can lead to success or failure. Whether you rely on your weapon, your speed, or the power of a drone, each floor will give you one of 5 encounter types. You can destroy portals, catch speedy robotic fish, cover the splat zone, splat the tower, guide those godforsaken balls that made me think of the 8 balls in Octo expansion, and I don't want to think about those. At least these infinity balls don't fall off the ledge, which makes them automatically better. Thank you, Side Order, for not causing me to rip whatever hair I have left. Thankfully, I like these challenges a lot. There isn't much variety with them, and they can be a bit repetitive, but they are still pretty fun and easy to get the hang of, and can still challenge you if you want it. Sure, they seem easy enough, but they do get harder the higher you go, and you can even choose a difficulty from easy to even rigorous, which can get very dicey if you're on your last life and cornered by a bunch of enemies and you're about to die. No! It turns into a nice bit of risk and reward, as you get more membucks depending on your difficulty. You can use these membucks at vending machines in between floors to get additional lives, more chips, or special abilities to help you complete your current run. You can also eventually use membucks to change the stock of the vending machines entirely, or if you don't like any of the 3 floor selections to choose from, you can change them completely with the power of virtual currency. And who said Bitcoin can't get you far in life? You can play it safe by doing all the easy ones right away, but eventually the harder challenges will show their faces. Or you could try and gamble for a rigorous floor, but that could mean the end of your run. You decide what to do, and it can either really pay off with skill, or... no! Replayability is the name of the game, and you keep doing runs until you reach the 30th floor. Which honestly, doesn't take too long. Yeah, the game is relatively short, and after enough persistence and upgrades, you'll reach the top of the spire and beat the main story. But there's a lot more to do even after beating your first run. There's 3 boss fights per floor, which range from Gray Squid Harmony Squad, to a roly-poly robot, to a weird giant spinning robot that gives me nightmares and makes weird noises that makes me question what it's doing. This is a kid's game, please! And of course, Order itself. After beating each boss, you get a key. That key unlocks this wall of lockers, which can get you either a log from Marina's diary, more pearls, or a pallet with a new weapon. Marina's diary has little logs about how she started developing the Spire, how Order got programmed, how she wants to use the Memverse to save the Octolings, but more importantly, it talks about how Off the Hook's tour is going well and how hard Marina is crushing over Pearl. Seriously, these two are smitten for each other. They're adorable. I don't care if Nintendo doesn't say anything official. They are gay as the 4th of July. And I love them for it. As for weapons, each new palette allows you a new weapon to try. The Octobrush, Sniper, Roller, Dualies, 12 different weapons that will let you experience the tower in their own unique way. The loop continues with trying a new palette with a new weapon, unlocking the keys to get more weapons, and again, experimenting to see what chips work best with what weapons. Maybe a weapon will have you focusing on power. Maybe you're struggling with a weapon, so you'll rely on Pearl's chips so Pearl can do her thing. Maybe you'll want to get one chip of the same color for the entire palette. Doing so will actually help give you a combo of pearls at the end of your run too, so do it, try it. No matter whether you succeed or fail, you're going to want to keep going until you complete every palette. The gameplay loop is strong and has you wanting to keep trying one more round, as it could lead to that one run you've been working real hard for, or find the perfect loadout that redefines how you approach each challenge. Sometimes I want to challenge myself to splat everything on screen, and other times I just let Pearl the floating droid do all the work. It's kind of ridiculous how powerful she can be. It kind of makes the game easy, where I just stand there, splat an enemy or two, and then Pearl just does the rest. Don't get on Pearl's bad side. I know Splatoon 3 isn't a new game anymore. In fact, this DLC means that new content for the game will be coming to an end soon. But it's nice to see this new mode breathe some life into this old title. To me, Side Order is a great alternative to the main game that is more than worth the money. The infinite replayability, fun challenges, and the nice addition to the lore we love in the series is a great cherry on top to the Splatoon trilogy. I always want to try one more round to see how far I can get with the weapon, waiting to see what chips I will end up with, and how many deaths it will take to succeed in the Spire of Order. If I am being honest, comparing it to the last DLC, Octo Expansion, it's not as good. I feel Octo Expansion does a lot more to make itself known, both with story and with gameplay. And it's a lot harder too. But I enjoy Side Order. They do a lot to make it a lot of fun. And it's a competent roguelike that fits the series well. If you are a Splatoon fan, but just a little tired of the main multiplayer modes, this single player experience is sure to get you hooked. Perhaps off the hook? Try Side Order immediately, and stop Order by bringing that colorful chaos we love in Splatoon. I now pronounce you Bride and Bride. You may now stay fresh. Oh, Pearl. Oh, Marina. I can explain. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, hit the like button and be sure to leave a comment. It really does help me out. Special thanks to these amazing people for helping me with the video. I couldn't have done it without all of you. Also, an extra special thanks to my Patreon patrons, including Mantelferox and Savacom. All the patrons make every video possible, and you all mean so much to me. If you'd like to join our Patreon, the link is in the description below, along with my Twitch and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good night!